Hello, 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 and welcome to Tashnawal's Lifestyle Therapy and this chat that I like to have once a week called Tutspiration. So this is I've focused on once a week for the whole year because before this I wasn't doing anything like this on social media, and I promised myself that in order to build my confidence and also to teach all the things that I have learned that's caused my transformation over the years, I was going to share through videos online to to my family, friends, clients, and also random people out there that are watching. So thank you for the viewers, whoever you are. Thank you for watching. So this is the second to last video of the year. And I wanted to talk just a little. I'll try not to make it too long because obviously it's middle of the holiday season. Nobody got time to sit and watch long videos. But for those who do, thank you. And so this is about reflecting. Now, if we're going into a new year and you want it to be better than this current year, then it's important that we are reflecting. So, when I was in high school and they were talking about history, and I hated history, and I wasn't very good at it because I couldn't remember all the dates. And I didn't see the relevance of learning something that was old and medieval when I lived in a Caribbean island, thinking, how's that going to help me? What the medievals did in England and all that stuff. I didn't get it. But you soon learn that in order to progress into your future, to learn from your past, you have to learn from your past, is what I meant to say. So I soon learned as well later on in life that I can't keep repeating the same thing over and over and expecting to get better results. So therefore, I had to look at where I came from or where I've come from and see what worked, what didn't work, and how to improve. So then you learn then that there are some things that you need to keep doing, and there's certain things you got to stop doing. And also there are other things that you have to start implementing in order to create change. You can't just do the same thing over and over. Okay, you won't get that. That's just the the definition of insanity. So you're looking back at the year, you're looking back at the month, you're looking back at the week, looking back at the days, and just seeing what it is that you've been doing. So for example, if you want to start a new business and you've been doing following the same pattern, of saying marketing, and you realize that you're getting the same results, you're not getting enough clients coming through, but you're sticking with that way of marketing and nothing's happening. That's kind of crazy, right? So you're going to change things up a little bit. You're going to change the way you're presenting yourself. You might get some help. You might hire a marketer. You might hire a copywriter or start using ChatGTP or whatever. But you have to change and try to transform and conform in order to see what works and what doesn't. Likewise, in terms of our relationships, it's the same thing. If you're in your relationship and you realize it's just a little bit stale, a little bit mundane, and you're not really feeling the excitement, then you need to do something to change. If you keep doing the same thing, you're going to get the same results, and probably even worse, you're not having a relationship at all because one person gets bored or both people get bored and things happen, they leave, and then you've got to start all over again. And the same thing with health, with wealth, with anything, spirituality. Okay, so it's looking at every aspect of your life and reflecting on them. What kind of year have you had spiritually? Have you grown any? Have you been reading? Have you been opening your mind? Have you been learning to open your heart? Have you been meditating, visualizing, whatever it is? Have you been allowing that God force to flow through you? Or are you still holding on to things, grudges, tightness in your chest, and irritation and frustration, watching the news, reading the newspaper, and just getting wound up and stressed out, and basically turning the energy force, the life force down on your body? Or are you reading things that are life-giving, that are elevating? Are you meditating? Are you focusing on good things? Are you managing your thoughts and making sure you are the one guiding them in the direction that you want them to go, so that you have that growth that goes with that? And are you eating the right foods? I had a friend of mine here not so long ago, and it's like, people know, you probably all know all the stuff that I'm talking about. You know already, what's good for you or what isn't. People say, yeah, I know, but you don't know. If you okay, maybe you do know. You know mentally, but your body doesn't know. It's something that mentally, consciously, that it's not good for me to eat the whole of that cake, or it's not good for me to drink that soda. It's not good for me to just drink the whole of that bottle of wine or whatever. And there's no judgment here. You do what you guys want, but you know what's good for your body and you know what's not. But sometimes there's a program that overrides what we know is good for us and does the thing that's not so good for us anyway. So yes, but then you're not doing any better and you expect the results. And then if your body is not looking and performing and functioning like it's supposed to, then you're mad at yourself, or you criticize other people to make yourself feel better. Or, so when we're going into a new year and we want a new body, we want a new mind, we want a new successful business, we want all of these things, then if you're not changing, even if it's a little, Tony Robbins says a 2 millimeter shift, 2 millimeter shift, you may not see the changes straight away, but down the line, it starts veering off into the right direction just by changing one thing and being consistent with it. So what is it that's working for you? You sit down and you write these things down. You write down how many columns: your relationship, your finance, your spirituality, your health, and write down those 4 columns. 4 columns, okay? And write out what it is that you want to keep that's working for you. The behaviors that are working for you. What it is you want to change. So what's good and you want to keep it, what's bad, you don't want to keep it, and what can you do better? So what's a new thing that you can bring into the mix that's going to make things be better? Okay, so write that down, because even just writing it down and bringing it into your awareness, that's probably a 2 millimeter shift, because you might deal with these things differently, as just by bringing them into your awareness. That is half of the battle. So also remember, so when we're going and reflecting, try not to get dragged into the negativity, because something bad may have happened earlier this year, or something bad might be happening that you're not joyful about, you just would like to go away. Just spend some time to look at that. Because in looking at that, you can see what it is that you want to avoid. But you running away from it, it will just follow you. Okay? They say what you resist persists. Okay? So it's important not to push against it, because you push, then equal and opposite force is going to come at you. So just look at it and even embrace it and find the lesson within it. Say, thank you. What are you trying to show me? And because this is where your growth is. You can't push against it, because you'll never grow pushing against it. You'll just end up making it bigger and bigger and bigger. And it just comes at you, and you get weaker because you keep pushing at this thing, and you get overwhelmed and you get stressed out, and you just want to crawl up in a ball and cry and give up. So instead of doing that, the easiest way is through. There's no point in trying to climb over it or climb around it, because you haven't really dealt with it. You have to go through it. Whatever it is you're going through, could be something emotional, could be a health issue, could be a relationship thing, on whatever level. Even through your spirituality, you can't go around it. You have to go in here to find the force that you're looking for, the energy that you're looking for, the force that created you, the life force, the God force, the universal energy, the source. You have to go through here, because it flows through here, through you. All right. So focus on that, because that's where your growth is. That's where your evolution is. That's how you ascend to the next level of your being, to become a better version of yourself. So reflect on that and see what comes up. okay? Because going into the new year, it's really important. It's really important if you want it to be better than last year, because some people can't wait to get out of this year because like, oh, it's such a shit show. I need to get out of it and start a new year, start a new leaf. But you got to take yourself with you, yourself with your same beliefs, with the same attitude, and the same actions, doing the same thing over and over, and not really thinking and not really not looking at yourself and seeing what your patterns of behaviors are. And if you're not recognizing those things, you're just going to end up using those patterns over and over. I used to do that in relationships. I leave one relationship and go to another one and another one and another one. And if you look at all the guys, they're all the same. They may look slightly different, but their behavior and what I would allow was always the same. So I ended up in the same position. Yeah, broken up, heartbroken, and frustrated because I hadn't changed anything. And until I started looking within myself and recognizing that, these things have to change. I need to change this attitude. I need to start to know that I deserve more than this. I know that I am enough and I am loved, I'm lovable, and start thinking in positive ways. So what's going on in your mind? Do you think that you're lovable? Do you think that you deserve good things? Do you think that you can make good connections because, people like you? What's going on in your mind? Or you kind of shun the world and you're hiding and you're full of anxiety and you're depressed and you're hiding from the world. What's going on? Because dealing with those things, because again, I said before, this is because we're edging God out. And sometimes we don't know how to let those things go. So get some help. I'm a rapid transformational therapist, as most of you already know, and I can help you to release and relinquish these limiting beliefs because they're not true. You weren't born with them, you acquired them. And once you acquire things like this, you can let it go. So find the details below. You can book a free 30-minute consultation with me. We can talk things through and we either go on with a session or we don't, depending on what we talk about and how that ends up. But you don't have to live like that. You don't have to live in this misery, this stress, this worry about what's happening, what's going on. Yes, you read the news and the news is true, but regardless of whether it's true or not, you don't have to have anxiety around it. I know that sounds crazy, but that is true. That is absolutely 100% scientifically proven truth. So give me a call, leave me a comment, whatever you want to do, and let's have a conversation around this. Okay, so focus on all aspects, the good and the bad, because only in focusing all aspects, you'll know what to do, what to continue, what to stop, and what to introduce into the mix of becoming another version of yourself. Okay, so what else? So yeah, there is no way you are going to go into 2024 and become a new person if you haven't reviewed 2023. Life doesn't improve until you review something because you learn from review. You learn from the history. Okay, so as much as I ran away from my history exams and I didn't take them, and I hate history, but I've come to understand that maybe not that kind of medieval history wasn't important, but it's important to learn our history, where we've been, or what am I thinking, what's going on. So all of that till now doesn't mean you dwell in it and wallow in it and cry about it. It means you're just reviewing it. You're seeing where the hookups are, and then you're digging them up and throwing them away, and then you're replacing them with new things so you can move forward in your life. Okay, so again, I mentioned in the last video about meditation. So I've put a meditation program together. I started putting it together earlier this year, and I just never got to finish it. So I'll be finishing that, and I will be releasing one video each day for 8 days on meditating. And it's a course. It's just a mini course that I've put together just to teach you and to give you an idea of what meditation is, how to do it, and then the effects of it, what to expect, and so on, and then the practice of it. Okay, it's a practice that I do every single day. Maybe depending on if I'm on holiday and the times are different, or I have to get up really super early one in certain mornings, I might miss a few, but I always try to substitute or do a longer one to make up for anything I've missed, because I find that my mind is sharper, my body responds better. My energy, oh my God, my energy is so much better when I'm meditating. But you have to learn to do it properly and do it well. And you also have to know why you're doing it. You don't have to, but it's better to know why you're doing it so that when it's being done, it makes sense to you. So you're not going, did that work? Did that work? You'll know for a fact that that works. And I can feel the difference. And I feel this way because this has happened. And my mind feel this way because the brain waves are different and so on. And I go through the whole of the course teaching you all of that in a very basic way. So it's nothing complicated. So I hope you enjoy that. So look out for that. 1st of January is the release of the first video. I think the second video is really, really short, but the following day, there will be another one to follow up on the really, really short one. And then that'll take you into 8 days. And then I'll also give you access to a few of my meditations that I have for sale. But for those people who are watching the course, they will get access to those meditations for free, so that you can practice and learn. And I am available here. So, you go on YouTube sometimes and people write comments, they ask questions, and there's nobody to answer those questions, but I'll be here. I'll be here to answer your questions. And if you can't find me here for whatever reason, I'll be on Facebook Messenger. So you just need to go to the Facebook TWLT Lifestyle Therapy, or www.facebook.com/twilting. So TWLTING. Okay. And also there is a group. It's called Annihilate Social Anxiety, but I'm going to be changing the name soon. So, but if you look me up, Fashion Walsh, you will find that group as well. So you can, opt in to be a part of that group, where I also share information like this. This information will also come through it. And it's another place you can talk to me if you want to be in close proximity. All right. So again, just remember, nothing outside of you can give you the joy, the peace, the healing, the warmth, the fulfillment, the love. Anything that you're seeking, it's in here, it's inside of you. And the best way to do that is to learn how to get there. And the best way I can show you is how to meditate. And obviously, I teach a lot of other things around this. But the idea is for us all to evolve to the highest version of ourselves. That's what all my training are about, all my teachings are about, all my talks are about, all my discussions are about. It's about evolving, because that is my life. It's all about evolving and become a better person, because I grew up in really stressful environments. And then I grew up thinking that I'm this small little person, and then people are telling me, oh, you're so beautiful, you're so gorgeous, you're so this, you should be this. And I'm thinking, I don't match any of those things, until I started going within myself and started opening up my heart. Then I started to become a lot more courageous and started recognizing there were things inside me that people saw that I didn't see. Okay. So a lot of times we can look outside, and this is one of the things I did. I used to look outside of myself, trying to find the love. Yeah, so I try to find a guy to love me. I try to get people to notice me. I try to be the loudest one in the room, the funniest one in the room, so that people could notice you and love me, love me, love me, love me. But you don't need to do any of that. Okay? If you find yourself doing that, it's because you are missing something inside. You're just missing it. It's not that it's not there. You just haven't found it. And it's there. It's inside of you. The love. There's so much love there. Okay? There's so much love there that it just bubbles out of you into the whole world. And then you're contributing to the world as opposed to taking from it. Like, give me love, give me love. Now you're going, I am love. I am love, and love pours from you. Okay? So to get back to the reflection, when we start reflecting on these things, we're going to come right back to what I just talked about. Okay? Because no matter where you go in the world, you have got to take yourself with you. I ran away from Jamaica so I could get away from my crazy, some people in my family, not my mom, of course, but some people in my family. And some of the feelings that I got from being there, I felt that if I ran away, But at the time I was doing it, I didn't know I was doing it. So a lot of times we're doing things, we're not sure why we're doing it. We have a reason, but it's not the true reason. But when you go real deep, you realize that you're actually trying to get away from yourself because you feel like you're not good enough or you're bad or, depending on what's happened in the past. But we're not. We're not our past. We're not defined by our past. We weren't born with lack of self-confidence. You look at a baby is born very confident, very open, very ready, very knowing that you're going to look after me. You're going to feed me. You're gonna give me cuddles. And when you don't, hear about it, right? So we weren't born with that. We just got beaten into us or in it, whether it's psychologically or sometimes physically, as in my case. So reflect. Reflecting is the power to projecting. And when you project, then you can really have a sound mind. Sound mind. In the Bible, there's a passage where Paul says to Timothy, God has not given you a spirit of fear, but of love, power, and a sound mind. And that goes for every one of us. We have love, abundance of it. We have power, abundance of it, because if we allow God through, we're going to find that, wow, who am I? There's nothing I can't do. There's nothing I can't really allow through me if that is my purpose. So let's start reflecting. Okay. I don't want to make this video too long, so I'll stop here. So let me just make sure. In reflecting, I've written here, so one of the most important parts of reflecting is knowing when to let go and what to let go of. Try not to hold on to old baggages because you think this person is going to not like you, or this person is a family member. That's a big one. This is my sister or my brother, therefore I can't let go. I mean, you're not going to speak to them ever again. It means you don't have to allow. So say, for example, you're in an abusive relationship with a family member, all they do is talk you down and make you feel bad. Why do you want to be in that energy? Yeah, they're your family, yes, but you can love them from a distance. And so you're not affected by that energy. You just let that go and you can bless them and say, I hope you find peace. Because some people are just so angry because they're so hurt. They're hurt. And most of the times they're the ones hurting themselves because they keep just wallowing in it, as opposed to trying to find a solution and peace within themselves. And they want to drag the whole world into it with them. So you've got to know how to let go of the circumstances, the issues, or whatever it is. And you also have to learn to let go of the people that are just dribbling it all over you. You just have to, if you want to evolve to the next level. And when you're strong enough, you feel powerful enough, then maybe you can get into a conversation about it if it's allowed. And sometimes even when you're strong and powerful and feeling strong in yourself, some people still are not ready to be communicated with. And if they're not, there's nothing you can do about it. You still got to let it go and walk away. Okay, it's not like you've given up on them, but there's no point. You cannot force people to do anything they don't want to do. So you just got to let go, send them a blessing, send them lots of good energy and walk away. And most times when you do that, eventually people start calming down, because as you get older, you start reflecting. Well, most people do. I should say most. I don't know how many. Some people do. And yeah, so just learn how to just drop things. My ex-husband would say that's one thing he knows that I do very well, is just when something doesn't serve me anymore, I just drop, and once it's done, I'm done. So learn to do that. It's a good thing to learn to do, especially if you're being abused and your energy is being drained and you're being pulled into areas of life that you don't want to be. Okay, and let go of what doesn't serve you. And then once you have done your reflection, then you make a list of the things that serve you. I'm going to continue to do this and make a list of the things that doesn't serve you. And you basically have a little releasing ceremony. Some people write things down on paper and then they have a little ceremony and they say, this is what I'm going to do. And they speak to the angel, they speak to God, they speak to the source, speak to a fairy, whoever you want to speak to. Some people do it on a full moon. where the energy is quite potent and powerful and in favor of releasing and letting go. So you can do that and just burn that piece of paper, you know? It's like symbolizing that you've let it go, never to go back there again. Or rip it up into tiny pieces, flush it down the toilet, means it's gone down the toilet. And if you're going to go down there to get it, you're disgusting. So don't do that. And and uh, and there are other ways of doing it, you know. Some people just imagine it um, tied to a big rocket and shoot it to the moon. Whatever, you can get creative with this, but whatever makes you feel that that issue is never going to bother you again, or you won't allow it to go bother you again. And just remember, you're in control. You're the one with a choice. You're the one who makes the decisions, no one else. Okay? You can go and ask somebody's opinion, but why? Why would you do that? This is your life. You get to decide what you want it to, where you want it to go, which direction you want it to go in. No, but people's opinion does not matter. So remember that. So when you find out what doesn't serve you, release it, let it go, drop it, bury it, just whatever, get rid of it. All right. And then think about how, if you think about your life the way you want it, think about then what did you do to get it there? For some people, I say, think about what you want to add to your life, what you want to start doing in order to get yourself to, and they go, I don't know. So if you did know, what would you have done? What did you do? So challenge yourself, because if you don't challenge your mind, it will just own you, and you will just, the same old programs will just keep playing, and you just live out the same mundane, same misery, same stress. And you don't want that. You need to challenge yourself, because you can. Yes, you can. And when you said, I can't remember, I can't think, say, yes, I remember I went through that. I was thinking, oh my gosh, it's so hard. It's just easier just to give up and just carry on as it is and just live that life. It's like, no, no, you're here for a bigger purpose. Okay. If you are thinking about a better life or the possibility of a better life, it means that you're meant to have a better life. You don't think about things that you're not meant to have. You just can't. Can't. Okay. And if you don't then decide that I'm going to go after that, then that is again your choice. That is your choice. Okay. And the fact that you didn't get there, it wasn't anybody else's fault. It's yours. Okay. So don't be blaming anyone. That's one thing I have learned. And another ex-boyfriend taught me that, you know, I was being a real bitch because it was that time of the month. And I thought, you know, this is how I feel. I just feel rubbish. So I treat him rubbish. And then one day he just kind of just dropped me just like that. Um, But in that happening, kind of opened my eyes to say, actually, he's right. He doesn't deserve to be treated that way, because I feel emotional. I can control my emotions. And that was a turning point for me to say, no, I get to choose. I get to decide, regardless of how I'm feeling. I can communicate and say, look, I don't feel really well right now. I'm really sorry. I feel a bit low. I'm just going to be doing this. But instead, I just was quiet and moody and not talking to him. He's speaking to me and I'm not answering. But no, that's not how you deal with people. That's how you behave with anyone, because nobody is responsible for what you're feeling. You are. Okay. And regardless of what's going on around you, you still have a choice. You still have a choice. Okay. Fear, the purpose of fear is, for one thing, is to keep us safe. But sometimes the, the fear that we're feeling is not that we're not safe. It's just a program that's telling us that we're not safe. You know, it's like doing that thing that you know is wrong, or you don't want to do, but you're doing it anyway, knowing that you don't want to do it. Why do you do it? It's a program. Okay. Fear itself is a program. The only time you should experience fear is when you're really in physical, mental, emotional, some sort of real danger. Okay. But you need to retract and get away from something. But it's mainly for physical. So a dog is chasing you or a lion is coming at you. Yeah, you want to run. You want to hide. You want to do all that. But we're not being chased by anything. We're just being chased by the thoughts and the pictures in our heads that we create based on what somebody said, or a situation that's happening, or yeah, or some discussion that you're having with someone, and all this anxiety may come up. okay, or you feel all depressed because of what somebody says, and you go, you go inside yourself and you don't want to talk to anyone, or you get angry and you just want to cuss out the whole world, whether they had something to do with it or not. No, we all can control ourselves regardless of what is going on. So just be aware of that. So write these things down, write the good things down in your journal, things that you want to now add to your life. Okay, so you want to go for a walk every morning, you want to meditate every morning, I want to visualize every day. On my phone, I have reminders. So every half an hour in the afternoon, there's a reminder for different things, to check in with myself. How am I feeling? Am I feeling joyful, or am I feeling, where are my thoughts at? Okay. Am I visualizing at the end goal that I want in my life? Or am I just here, letting my mind just run ragged with me on all the things that are happening in the world and what that person said? We get to control our mind, and your mind is what creates your life. So if you want to just let it go random, then go ahead, and you're just going to get random things happening. But if you want to steer the ship into port, then you've got to take control. Okay, good. So write these things in your journal so you can always see them. So every time you go back, you see them, you review, you see them. And come the end of next year, you can go through these things and say, this is what I wrote down. This is what, and see how the year had panned out for you. And you'll find most of the times, if you're focused and you did all the things and you wrote in your journal, you did your meditation, you visualize the life you want to have on a daily basis, you realize that, you actually steered your ship into port beautifully. 9 times out of 10 beautifully. Most of the things that you thought about and you visualize and you focused on having, becoming, doing, actually came true. So just take some time. I know New Year's Eve is always that time where people are partying and they're having fun with friends and they're drinking. But even the eve of New Year's Eve, maybe use that to be your reflective time, so that you're going into the year proactively and not just like, see what happens. Let's hope it's going to be better. But as Joe Dispenza puts it, hope is a beggar. If you're hoping, then you've already lost. And if you're trying again, you've already lost. Because if you listen to the energy around those, I mean, it's better than being despondent and gloomy and doomy, but you can do so much better. Okay? You can focus. You can be determined. You can feel uplifted. You can be firing on all cylinders in the right direction. But you've got to want that, and you've got to make that happen, and you've got to overcome, using your willpower, the subconscious programs. So when you get up, what I like to do is when I feel like an urge, say for example, if I got an urge to eat chocolate or not a lot of sugar, and sometimes I'm just watching, I just stop myself in my tracks and just watch myself in that urge, thinking, and it's almost like such that your body's a child, and it's just like going, gimme, I want the sugar, I want the sugar, I want the sugar. And that's when I go, no, I get to choose. And you practice just stopping yourself and say, no, I get to choose. And there may come a time where you unconsciously eat the sugar or whatever it is your thing is. And then you go, oh my God, I didn't want to eat that. But you catch yourself and you recognize that, you didn't win that one, but you keep doing it. The more you become aware, that awareness wakes your subconscious mind up to a new way of behaving. Okay, so you keep catching yourself out. Don't beat yourself up, because again, what you push against, you get more of. So don't push against it. Just say, okay, I see you. It's like when a child is coming to you it's not a good analogy actually, but if someone's coming to you and giving you never mind, that's not a good analogy either, but do not push against. Do not push, because what you push against is pushing back at you. Okay? So if you're going to push against anything, make sure you're pushing against something that you really are enjoying. Okay? Or just walk through it. Because they always say the only thing to fear is fear itself. Because when you face it, you realize there's nothing to fear. It's just an illusion. And I have experienced that more times out of 10. So, yeah. So I think that's where I'm going to leave it for today. And then also, as we're on the subject, is to wish you a very happy New Year when it comes. And I hope it gets started with a great big bang of excitement and joy and projection and focus on a life that is fulfilling, uplifting, bright, vibrant, and joyful for you. And may all your dreams come true. And I will be here. I'm not going anywhere because I'll continue to make videos and share with you what's on my mind, what's going on, and how I can help. For those of you who get in touch with me from time to time, I'm still available. So carry on with that. All right. Take care. Happy New Year. And I see you guys in the new year. Take care. Bye-bye.